Hey everyone, this is Jim DePola, your host of Florida Talk Real Estate, the #1 real estate radio show in Florida, and also owner of Antares International Group, a top producing Keller Williams team. Today's market is kind of crazy, right? So we have a seller's market in most cases. We have very tight inventory. We have rising prices and rising interest rates. Who's ever heard of that before? And buyers more and more asking me the same question. Am I paying too much for my house when they're purchasing? So today we're going to go over a couple of tips on how to make sure that you don't overpay when you buy a house. One of the biggest problems is that when you are trying to turn in an offer, it's usually a multiple bid situation. And in that case, if you make an offer too low, the sellers are going to reject your offer in favor of the juicier ones. And if you offer too much, you're afraid that you're overpaying for the house. So let's go over 3 tips on how to make sure you're protected when you're making your offer and you feel confident that you're making the right offer to get accepted and not overpaying. Okay, here we go. Tip number 1, do the comps. Make sure that your agent that's representing you gives you an up-to-the-minute detailed market analysis of the sales in the neighborhood that you're buying in. Closed sales are the most important. And closed sales within the last 90 days are even more important than that, because that's what appraisers are going to be looking for when they determine the value of your property as you're trying to get financing. And make sure that the closed sales you're being shown are of similar size and in similar condition with similar features as to your homes. That's what appraisers do, and that's what you should do too. Active and pendings are also important to determine the value of what's happening in the neighborhood. If you see acting and pending prices at a much higher price point than what actually is closing in your neighborhood, or if their prices are lower than what is closed in the neighborhood, you may be in a shifting market and you may want to beware. Tip number 2, check the days on market. If the house has only been on the market for 1 week and it has heavy buyer traffic, you're probably going to offer a higher price in order to get the offer accepted than a house that's been on the market for 100 days and has had 2 price reductions. Make sure you ask the agent representing you for this information. Not all agents offer this information to you without asking, and it's a very important detail to make sure that you don't overpay but still get the house under contract with you as opposed to your competitors. Okay, tip number 3, restructure your contract so that you do the appraisal before the inspection. In today's market, unfortunately for buyers, sometimes they have to offer the seller what they're asking for, even though the buyer might not be sure that the house is going to appraise for that and they can get financing for that house. If you're in that situation, but you really truly love the house, you may have to give the seller what they want on paper in the contract. But the way to save you some money and aggravation in this process is to structure the contract where you do the appraisal before the inspection. And then that way, after the appraisal is done, you and the seller can determine if you want to move forward. Maybe the price has met the seller's need and you can move forward. Or if it comes in lower, you'll be able to renegotiate the price before you spend money on inspections and trying to save you some money along the way in case it doesn't work out.